When a volunteer signs up for a opportunity that you've created that is of registration type sign up, they're automatically confirmed for that opportunity if there's space for them and they meet the age requirements and so forth. But if you create a volunteer opportunity of registration type express interest, then you are going to have to confirm that volunteer as approved as a volunteer. You'll get an email notifying you that they've expressed interest, and you can click on the link in the email to log in and go directly to the occurrence. Or if you haven't been keeping up with your email, you can run a report that's available here in the left sidebar under confirm and schedule volunteers, and this is volunteers who are awaiting confirmation. And when I click on this, it opens a little report that tells me anybody who is still in pending approval status. And I can see for legal aid office help, I have 2 people who are pending approval, and for mentors needing for youth, I have 1 more that I haven't approved yet. So I'm going to go directly to the occurrence for legal aid office help so that I can decide whether to confirm these 2 volunteers. And when I click on the occurrence ID, it takes me to the occurrence record. I can scroll down and see the connection grid. By default, I'm seeing my confirmed volunteers, and I can see I've already previously confirmed Valerie volunteer to come in on July 18th. But for my pending volunteers, I'm going to go to the pending volunteer tab, and I can see I have 2 people who've expressed interest. And I can take a look and decide whether I want to confirm them or not. Now, I could send them an email. I could click here to pick both people and click on the email volunteer buttons, and I can email them directly from here and ask them some questions and so forth, or say, hey, you need to do a background check, please email me back when you've completed that, or whatever. Or if I just want to know more about the volunteers, I can scroll down here to the connections related list where I can see the different volunteers. So if I want to know a little bit more about Abby O'Connor, I'm not as familiar with her, I can click on her name, and that'll take me to her contact record where I can see additional information about her. So I can see her address, I can get her phone number if I want to call her on the phone and ask her a couple of questions. I can scroll down and see that she has done a background check if the affiliate you're working with does background checks. I can see her previous volunteer history. I can even see the skills that she has associated with her account. So I take a look at this and I decide, hey, I do want to schedule Abby to come in. And maybe I call her and she says she wants to come in. And I've clicked the back button to just go back to the occurrence here. And so I'm going to go back to my pending tab, and now I want to confirm Abby as a volunteer. So to do that, I'm going to click on Mark Confirmed. Now, if it was a date and time specific express interest opportunity, it would know when she was coming. But this is a to be scheduled opportunity, and so she could be coming on a lot of different times. And by default, you can see over here, it's put her in as coming on May 14th. And that was the date when I first published this opportunity. So for a to be scheduled opportunity, you first confirm them, and then you need to come in and set the date and time that you want them to come in. So I double click on the date field, and I'm going to say that she's decided she wants to come in on July 22nd, 2014. So I put in the date, and then I'm going to come over to this next box for start time and say we've agreed she's going to come in at 9 o'clock a.m. and her end time is going to be 11 o'clock a.m. And you notice that when I edit the date and the start time and the end time, a little red box comes around there, and it just reminds me that I haven't saved this information yet. So now that I've filled in when I want her to come, I just click on Save Changes, and it'll record that. She'll get a notification that she's been confirmed as a volunteer, and everything's set. So whenever you're confirming a to-be scheduled volunteer, be sure that you first mark them as confirmed. Right? If I wanted to confirm Lenny, I would click on Mark Confirmed and then go over to the Confirm Volunteer tab and set the date and time they're coming. If it's date and time specific, only one step, just mark them as confirmed. Now, what if you don't want to have somebody come as a volunteer? Let's say Lenny Leader's not a good volunteer and I want to decline him. I don't want to confirm him as a volunteer. Then I can check his name. I click the Mark Declined button, and then I would just state what reason I've declined him. So I called him and he never called me back. So I'm going to say there was no response from the volunteer. And when I do that, he will be not confirmed, and he will wind up in the declined volunteer tab. And now I have Abby scheduled and Lenny declined. Lenny will be notified that we're not able to use him as a volunteer at this time. So that's all that's necessary in order to confirm and schedule volunteers for your express interest opportunities.